new restaurant and maybe the brewery.
Yeah, come on back.
All right, great.
There's only a few of those in the country.
Yeah.
State-of-the-art milling process whereby the grains get wetted a little bit in the upper chamber there. That softens the husk. Then it goes through the crushing rollers. The husk, because it's pliable, because it's wet, comes right off of the kernel in full form, which is good. You keep the husk intact, and then the kernel inside gets crushed by the crushing rollers. Then it all gets pumped as a mash from here into our mash tun. So what it allows us to do is, by not breaking up the husks, we're going to extract less tannins and polyphenols during the mashing process, so a little bit smoother beer. Also, because it's under a wet environment, as soon as it's crushed, there's less oxygen that's interacting with the malt, which should give us a little bit better shelf life in the long run. This is just a mash tun here, a mash kettle for decoctions. Go over here. This is the main mash tun.
Smells good in here.
Yeah. We got hops from England, Slovenia, Czech Republic, Germany, and the United States. We didn't have any really light to speak of. It was all dim and it was dungeness and it was a horrible place to work. And when we started talking about putting the brew house in here, I couldn't think how many lights we would need to get away from that. So we looked into the skylights, and I think it was perfect for this because it's nice natural light. This here was our original cellar. We started with 4 of these tanks this size and 1 half size when we first opened in 1996. And since then we've put about 30-35 tanks into this space to grow. These are all single batch tanks now. It used to be 2 batches to fill one of these with our old brew house. Now it's 1 batch. So in the course of a day, now we can brew 8 brews a day, so we would conceivably need to clean out, empty, clean 8 of these tanks for 1 day's brewing cycle. So that's why we like bigger tanks. There's a little bit less cleaning involved. We clean for every 2 brews or 6 brews or 8 brews as opposed to every brew. We ferment in the tanks that have the conical bottoms, but beers that get a little bit of extra aging will transfer into here, and they'll sit in here, you know, anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months, depending on the beer we're making. Sort of a very important room. These tanks here are for what's called a clean in place system for automatic cleaning of tanks and lines and filter, as well as our bottle filler. This tank here is our yeast propagator. We propagate over 30 yeasts over the course of the year. We have a very extensive yeast bank. We have yeast strains from all over the world, but a lot of them from Germany, England, and Belgium, of course. And we do all our yeast propagation in-house. We have a lab that can take a single cell, grow it into about 1 liter of wort, and then the liter of wort will get transferred into this yeast propagator here. And about a week later, we'll have 1 trillion cells, which will allow us to ferment 200 barrels of beer. So very, very, very effective yeast propagation system here. We have a PhD in biochemistry, Dr. Tim Watkins, that works for us, who keeps our yeast happy and growing nice for us. Centrifuge that's going to go into what's currently our lab in a month or 2. It's going to be in there, and the beers will be centrifuged instead of filtered, although some beers we still may do some filtration post-centrifuge, but a lot of our beers will not be filtered after we put the centrifuge in. This is a unique thing here. This is an inline bottle conditioning system that we created. We basically could grow up yeast also. There's a little mini propagator here. We grow up yeast, and then we can have yeast in one of these tanks, sugar in another tank. And as the beer goes from the bright beer tanks to the filler, we have a dosing system that doses in just the right amount of sugar and just the right amount of yeast. so that each bottle has a consistent amount of yeast and sugar to re-ferment in the bottle. Our Golden Monkey is bottle conditioned as well as several of our other beers. So this room is a little bit unique. Not a lot of breweries do this. Since we do a lot of bottle conditioned beers, we have this room that we keep at about 74 degrees year round, so that the re-fermentation can take place in a reasonable amount of time. So as you can see, we have Storm King in here, V12, Golden Monkey. We also do Old Horizontal bottle condition, our Saison. We designed this line to run with 3 people. We have one person that operates the labeler, the filler, and the case packer. Another operator runs the cardboard forming machines and cardboard inserting machines along with the bottles. And then a third person is the forklift driver who takes the bottles, the cases and pallets of beer off of the line. So we can operate with 3 people on the floor. Occasionally a mechanic is needed as well to keep it operating. We run about 600 cases an hour.
Ron, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing Victory coming to Vermont.
Well, thanks for visiting us. We loved having you.
Cheers. We will see you next time on Here for the Beer.